Okay, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sir? Okay. So the first work we have completed, right? I took this much of time to go through it. I have done some modification and I submitted the work to a journal. Okay, that's the
Yeah.
first work. Now, next one we have to do. তো মই ইমান দিন সময় এইটো কাৰণে ললো I have gone through it and I found that some work can be done here as a continuation of the earlier work. Let me share with you. I will share this to you. Everything is means there. You need to just do the experiments. Okay. And after that, we go for writing or documenting the paper. But first, we have to do the practical, right? Let me share you the screen. I hope you can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
So I gave the name edge-guided, specially constrained K-means for improved clustering of lung histopathological images. Okay. Why? Because in our last work, we could see that the performance of K-means is better when if we consider the simplicity. Otherwise, the is performing well, but K-means also good. Okay, but the thing is that we have to constrain the number of features to a minimum number. Means we cannot give a kind of means like hundred or thousands of features to K-means. So we cannot expect a better clustering from that. Okay. So K-means of a problem asile. From the last work we have got it, right? So based on that, as from the name, you can see that edge-guided, spatially constrained K-means. K-means will be there for the segmentation, right? Means for the clustering. But before that, we will do few steps. Okay. So the abstract is there. I will share this with you. You go it peacefully. You go through everything. But I will discuss the main steps that are involved in this proposed approach. Okay. So two things are involved here. First, PCA. You got it from the last work that PCA we use for what? Dimensionality reduction. See, yeah. Many features are there. We convert or minimize it to a particular number that is obviously less than the originals. And edge guided means we will now incorporate some edge detection technique. Okay. And dataset, we are going to use this one. You can see I have put the link here. This one. LC25000. Okay. Just you can download this. You can download this and then you can go for it, right? So now in this dataset, we have around 15,000 images, and most importantly, there are three classes. Okay, LUAD, LUSC, and benign. Okay, lung adenocarcinoma, lung squamous cell carcinoma, and benign lung tissue. These are the three classes. And our images are evenly distributed among these three classes. Now, what will be the pre-processing? Pre-processing, first one we will convert it into the grayscale images. Buji paisa? We will convert into the grayscale. Okay. Then after that, we will do filtering using Gaussian filtering. So what you have to do, you have to go through the properties of Gaussian filtering. First question will be obvious that why we are using Gaussian filtering. So you have to go through the properties that Gaussian filter to etu karone bhal. When the images are like this type of medical images, then we cannot sacrifice details. Because when we apply the filters, usually some details been removed or is erased. Okay, because when we are removing the noises, maybe some good pixels will also be removed. But we are using Gaussian filtering where this type of things are less. Okay, so what you do, you just go through Gaussian filtering, the techniques involved, the mathematics equation involved, and why we are using that. Okay, clear? Next step. After Gaussian filtering, from the name I told you, the edge guided, মানে edge kini detect kori. We will detect the edges. So for that, we are using Sobel. There is a very famous filtering technique, Sobel. Okay, sorry, edge detection technique, Sobel edge detection technique. Even you can see my paper. I have worked earlier in the Sobel operator based one improvised technique. So Sobel operator will use for edge detection. Okay, and the corner features are extracted using Harris detection. So tumi ki koribole, what you have to do, you just go through Gaussian, you go through Sobel, you go through Harris. This will not take much time. 1 day is enough to go through these three to understand how they work. Okay, each image is flattened into a feature vector. Then we will apply our next thing, that is dimensionality reduction using PCA. Original, we have this mass. You can see this is a very big number. Okay, now reduce one will be 50. Okay, sir. Then we go for k-means with the number of clusters 3. Okay, I'm keeping it simple. So otherwise we can go for some number of clusters determination technique, but here you keep it simple, go with 3. Then, so this one is the measure step. This stage improve the clustering by incorporating spatial and structural information for each pixel, identify its cluster level, then extract a local neighborhood. Local neighborhood matlab 3x3 window we are taking. Then we have to compute the edge density using Sobel, and then apply a neighborhood voting strategy. Which one should be included, which one should be excluded. So rule is that if a pixel belongs to a cluster inconsistent with its neighbors, lies in a high edge region, then reassign it to the dominant neighboring cluster. মানে হেতু ক্লাস্টাৰলৈ গুচি আহিব যদি ই a particular rules to follow কৰিছে. ঠিক আছে? So got it now? I am going through the steps. You take time, 1 or 2 day time to just to read it. Okay, just to read it and go through the techniques. Make proper notes that will help you, and then only you go to the means implementation part. So flowchart we know that is workflow diagram, right? So our first thing will be the image acquisitions thing. Means image acquisition means collecting the data from this particular data set LC2500. So that you can easily download. Then pre-process using grayscale, and then after that Gaussian filter, feature extraction. Okay, intensity, texture, and edge features are the feature extraction. And dimensionality reduction, after that k-means with 3 clusters, then edge detection, Sobel plus Harris, and then spatial refinement, mane neighborhood voting. This one, this part. Where is this called? Yeah, this one. Then refine clusters, and then performance evaluation. And for the performance evaluation, we can take the help of ARI, that is adjusted rand index, that measures similarity between predicted clusters and the true level, and execution time, how much time it takes. And we can also give the visualization using cluster plots, right? মানে ক্লাস্টার গিটা বনাই পেলাই দেখুৱাই দিম আমি. Then segmentation maps. Okay, so this is our next work. I expect if this can be done, then we can go for a good publication. বুজিছা? So I'm also keeping the pseudocode here. Pseudocode মানে আমি কেনেকে কাম কৰিব লাগে, that is an idea of how the algorithm is happening regardless of the code. but we are following Python, right? So Python code I am also giving here. It is very simple. Only main part is the technical part. Can I come to how the algorithm is being done, how the proposal being done to improvise the performance. So you go through the codes also. You obviously you need to modify it. Okay. So I am expecting that at least 1 month of time we will take to complete this task. ঠিক আছে তার আগতে হৈ যাব কিন্তু লিখি মেলি ৰিফাইন কৰালৈকে এমাহ we can take. Garima, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any tension?
No, sir.
Conference hole bhoy kora boli kola, so that's why I have sent to a journal. So I am expecting that we'll get a positive results. Let's see. So I have sent to a journal, and this one, let's do the work. Immediately, I will also present. I'll present you on behalf of you, but do the work.
Okay.
ঠিক আছে?
ঠিক আছে, sir.
Kiba doubt থাকিব, if you have any doubt, you ask me. Okay, maybe I may take some time. I'll very busy actually during the daytime due to the other works, administrative works. But this is my first priority, research. Okay, so I want that you should do it properly. Okay, that's it. And in your college also inform that our work is going on perfectly. So we are expecting that our paper will also get published. So that way you defend. আৰু কিবা সুধিবা?
এইখিনি কৰিলো তেতিয়া ক'বাত প্ৰব্লেম হ'লে
Okay. বাকি সব ভাল? Everything is okay?
yeah.
Then, bye. Good night.
Okay.